danger city.
Come to me privately and I will tell you more of that.
I want me, you can meet me after this teaching. I will tell you more about that to you.
Church planting and disciple making is a work of God.
For bring up land in Boyden and for plant God in earth, now God in your work.
God uses ordinary people.
God will use ordinary man.
And it is because of that there will be breakthroughs in some of the areas you would not expect it at all.
And now that make you go see say God go walk. Now some of the places where you feel say not possible at all.
So we trust in him.
So we believe in him.
And we trust that he will lead us.
And we believe say now he will show you the way.
And my prayer for all of you,
and the prayer for we all now today,
is that God would speak to you.
Now that for me God in talk to you
as he spoke to John.
As he talked to John.
Make sure it is the Holy Spirit.
Make sure say that God is there to talk to you.
Confirm that with God.
Make sure say you confirm that one with God.
And then trust him. Then trust God.
And make you believe God.
To go forward and do mighty exploits.
Make you go and do big things for God.
And all the people said.
And all the people then.
Amen.
Amen.
Hallelujah. Once more, let's put our hands together for Jesus.
One more time, let's put your hands together for Jesus.
We pray that God will speak to us as he spoke to John.
We pray say God will talk to me like I talk to John.
For there are many out there that need Christ.
Because plenty there outside here that we need Christ.
Now we want to have our next speaker.
Now we want to go to the next speaker.
Who is another black man in an American skin.
Oh, now other black man with inside American man body.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
It's no less a person but our brother Bo Reform.
Not any other person but our brother Bo Reform. Chief Bo, put your hands together for me.
Chief Bo. God bless you. Good morning.
Good morning.
Our brother James has talked to us 2 mornings about the church in Thessalonica.
We brother James want to talk to me 2 mornings now about the church in Thessalonica.
Who has ever met someone who's a Thessalonian?
Who has ever meet somebody in a Thessalonian?
Would anybody like to meet a Thessalonian?
Anybody go like for meet a Thessalonian?
I have one here today.
We got one now today.
The truth is that he actually was born in South Africa.
The truth now that now South Africa is born.
This is Luke.
This is Luke.
But his parents and his grandparents and great-grandparents and on down, they're Thessalonians.
So mama and papa and granny and grandpa and great-grandpa and all the family in Thessalonica they come out.
This is what they look like.
Now so they feel. So we see Thessalonian.
Amen.
Amen.
Did you know that Moses almost failed?
You know say Moses be almost failed?
Has anybody here almost failed?
Anybody here now don't almost fail?
Has anybody here ever failed?
Anybody here now don't ever fail?
If you have not failed, you will.
If you never fail it, you go wonderful.
The Bible says that the righteous man and the righteous woman falls down 7 times.
The Bible says the righteous man and the righteous woman can fall down 7 times
and gets back up.
But go grab back.
One of the greatest impediments or problems of a future leader is this.
One of the biggest stumbling blocks them for a future leader like this.
They are afraid to fail.
Then they're afraid for fail.
But the men I raise up as leaders, I teach them, be afraid of not failing.
The one that women they raise as leaders, and they teach them, say, unafraid for no fail.
Because if you never fail, that means you're never stepping out in faith.
Because if you don't ever fail, that means that you don't ever step out in faith.
When I was 20 years old, I bought a car.
When I've been there 20 years old, I buy one car.
I was full of zeal and full of faith.
I've been full of I've been get zeal, I've been get faith.
And I decided to pray and ask God that I would get 25 miles per gallon in my driving.
So he decided for ask God for let get 25 miles per gallon in driving.
The car was rated to get 20 miles per gallon.
The car been for get 20 miles per gallon.
And so when I'm driving and the car says it's on empty,
So as they drive and the car begin for so empty,
I begin to rebuke the devil.
so he begin for rebuke, he for bind Satan.
I'm going to get 25 miles per gallon.
I'm supposed to go 25 miles per 1 gallon.
Guess what happened?
Guess what happened?
I ran out of gas.
Petrol done.
My car stopped and died because there was no more gasoline in the
The motor
tank.
car stopped because petrol be don't go inside.
I learned a lesson.
He learned one lesson.
I failed.
He failed.
That's okay,
It's okay.
because I was on the path of becoming a leader.
Because he been there at the road for become leader.
Who here is someone, who here is a leader in training?
Who that when a leader where in the train?
Raise your hands high. Great.
Let's see on of
Who here is a leader?
Who that when a leader?
Okay. Who here is a leader maker?
Who that where they make other leader them?
Okay. I hope when I come back there's more hands up.
If they hope say when he come back we will get plenty more hand for this other category we just call so.
If you are a spiritual mother and you're a leader maker, stand up.
If you're not spiritual mother, you know spiritual person don't born but spiritual picking them. Now for team up and you don't make leader team up will see you.
Spiritual mother, not
Spiritual
spiritual
mother, not your
father.
papa.
Spiritual mother. Spiritual
mama,
mother.
spiritual mama. Okay, but who picking them?
Okay, now you may sit down.
Okay, and I can sit down now.
If you're a spiritual father and a leader maker, now stand
If
up.
you're not spiritual papa and you're not leader maker, I don't see you. Let's spiritual picking up team up.
Thank you. Now you may sit down.
Thank you. Let's see.
Are there any men here who are spiritual mothers?
Any man and then I spiritual mama,
Stand up.
team up don't see you.
No, any man that is a spiritual mother, stand up.
Any man when a spiritual mama,
Where's our brother Shadunke Johnson?
where we brother Shudanke Johnson.
Okay, I'm standing up because I'm a spiritual mother.
I team up because me a spiritual mama.
Let's read 1 Thessalonians chapter 2.
Let me read 1 Thessalonians chapter 2.
The Apostle Paul says,
The Apostle Paul said,
we prove to be gentle among you,
with a proof for be gentle among you now,
just as a nursing mother tenderly cares for her children.
just like where Kumbra they take care of him picking carefully.
Now Paul uses the pronoun we.
Paul used the pronoun we.
That means not just me, but
That means and also just me one.
Okay,
but the other people them.
let me ask you another question. Who wrote the book of Thessalonians?
Let's ask you now. That writes the book of Thessalonians.
Let's read chapter 1, verse 1.
Let's read chapter 1 verse 1. Follow.
Paul and Silas
And Silas
and Timothy.
and Timothy.
Did you know that Silas and Timothy helped write 1 Thessalonians?
You ever know say Silas and Timothy now they help for write Thessalonians?
It was not just written by Paul.
Not to Paul one great writer.
So when Paul says, we prove to be gentle like a nursing mother,
So when Paul say with a proof for be gentle like Kumbra,
he's talking about me and Timothy and
they
Silvanus.
talk about himself and Timothy and Silvanus.
Now what that tells me is this.
So what did they tell me now this?
The Apostle Paul was a leader and a leader maker.
The Apostle Paul now been leader and also now been leader maker.
And he had two leaders in training.
And he been get two leaders then we been the
And their
training.
names were Timothy and Silvanus.
And they named them now been Timothy and Silvanus.
And he was teaching them to be leaders.
And he been teach them for be leaders.
Part of that was to be like a gentle mother
Part
nursing.
of that kind of thing then for let them be gentle like Kumbra, like how Kumbra they take care of him picking.
I don't know if it's inappropriate in this nation
I don't know if it's not okay for let we use that kind of time day
to talk about mothers nursing their children.
for talk about Kumbra where they take care of him picking.
My wife nursed our children.
And me wife nine take care of him picking them.
To me, it's like one of the most beautiful things in the world.
To me, now one of the most beautiful things in the world.
And to imagine that the Apostle Paul was tender and gentle, holding holding Christians to him to be nourished.
So for imagine the Apostle Paul bintan le kombra they take care of Christian them, le cow kombra they take care of him pikin.
That's a beautiful thing.
That thing in a fine thing.
And he goes on to say, we were well pleased, we were happy.
And he continued for say, we be really glad and we be pleased
to impart and to give to you
for transfer and for get to
not only the gospel,
not to just the good news,
but our own lives.
But we life them.
That's what leader makers do.
Now that's the one that when they make leaders, then they do.
They give themselves away.
Then they give themselves away.
I think our brother Shidanke has preached a few times.
I think so. We brother Shidanke don't preach.
And he's given examples of how he's given himself away.
And he don't give you example them of how he don't give himself away.
He doesn't seek glory.
You know they look for letting get the name.
He's not trying to get honor.
You know they try for let people there.
He just wants to give the gospel.
He just want for give God in word
and give himself away.
And give himself away.
Then Paul goes on to say,
so Paul continues for say,
and this is in 1 Thessalonians chapter 2 verse 11.
And this not 1 Thessalonians chapter 2 verse 11.
Just as you know how we were exhorting you,
just like we wanna know how we been there talk to you
and encouraging you,
and we been there encouraging you,
and imploring each one of you,
and we been there plead with every one of you,
just as a father would do to his own
just
children.
Just like when Papa go do to his own pikin them.
Paul was a spiritual mother and a spiritual father.
So we discover say Paul na spiritual mama and spiritual papa
to his leaders.
To in leader them.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm going to make a statement.
I will make one statement.
100 years from now, this statement will demonstrate
100 years from now, this statement will show say
what the history of this movement will be.
Waiting this history, the history of this movement will be.
The future of our church.
The future of the church
and the movement.
And the movement depend
upon the leaders that you and I raise up.
The leader that when me and you go raise up today.
So are you winning the lost for Jesus?
So you ready?
Yes? Are you winning the lost for Jesus?
You don't win the lost for Jesus?
Are you making disciples?
You don't make disciples them?
Are you making leaders?
You don't make leaders?
Okay, 100 years from now, we'll know the truth of that statement.
Okay, 100 years from today, we will know the truth behind this statement.
Can you name 5 men or women that you're training right now?
You be able to name 5 men and women the way you're training right now?
I'm not talking about discipling.
I don't talk about discipling.
I'm talking about the stage after discipleship.
I talk about the stage where they after you don't pass discipleship.
It's really a part of discipleship.
Now actually a part of discipleship.
And so let me explain.
So make I explain one.
You lead someone to the Lord.
You go bring somebody to Jesus.
You begin to disciple them and they grow in the Lord.
You disciple them.
And then at some point you recognize this person is going to be a leader.
When I reach certain point in that discipleship, they will go notice that this person is here for be leader.
So I want to know, do you have 5 people that you're training from this point out?
So now I want to know if you get up to 5 people already trained from this point to reach so. For go forward.
Can you write those down right now?
You can write the name down.
Write their names down.
Take time to write the name down right now.
If you don't have 5 names,
if you don't get them 5 names,
then write 5 potential leaders.
Then write 5 people who think say go able for be leaders.
One of the first questions I asked Shidanke Johnson was this.
One of the first questions that I ask Shidanke Johnson is this.
Who's your replacement?
Who do I get for replace you? Who do I get for take your place?
Good question. That's the first thing I wanted to know.
That's the first thing and the way if you want to know.
It was more important to me.
It be more important to him
that he had an answer.
That he get an answer
than who the person was.
Than who that the person actually be.
You see, when we become successful in ministry,
you see, when we begin to succeed in a ministry,
it's all about me.
Now all about me.
And we intend to raise up someone to replace us.
We dey intend for raise somebody for take we place.
But we don't get into the business of raising up someone to replace
But we know they
us.
actually go into the business for raise somebody who go take me place.
Because they might be better than me.
Because something they go better pass me.
Do you remember King Saul?
You remember King Saul?
He was happy to have David kill Goliath
He been glad when David killed Goliath.
for a few weeks or a few months.
Or a few weeks or few months.
But when the songs began to be written and sung,
But when people they begin to write and sing songs them,
David has killed his 10,000s and Saul has killed his 1,000s.
David don't kill 10,000, Saul don't kill 1,000.
Saul became jealous.
Saul begin for jealous.
So if you have jealousy for yourself,
So if you get jealousy inside your heart for yourself,
you will never raise up spiritual
you're not
sons.
going able to raise up spiritual boy picking them.
I want men who are greater than me.
I want man them where go great past me.
And I want them to be greater in me while I'm still
And
alive.
I want to let them great past me even where they are alive now.
Is that what you want?
Now that you want?
Do you have anybody that's getting close to that
You
stage?
get anybody when they get close to that stage there?
Now I want to talk for just a moment about your pipeline.
I want to talk short term about your pipeline.
I don't know if that's a concept you understand
I
very
don't know
well.
if we understand that concept in a salon very well.
But large companies always have a pipeline.
But big company in the world always gets pipeline.
It's not physical. This is a figure
Not
of speech.
physical something like parable.
So let's take maybe a drug company that's creating medicine.
So let's take, for instance, a company where they make medicine.
And we'll say this is the beginning of the pipeline.
And we go say that this is not the beginning, not the pipeline.
They begin with ideas.
Then they can begin with idea.
I want to create a medicine maybe for malaria.
I want to make medicine where they make malaria.
So this is where they're doing research and development.
So now then can they do research, now then they study, now then they try to develop the idea.
That's year one. Year
So
two,
then year one. Year two,
they're working on the things they started in year one.
they don't begin to work on the thing they were not begin in year one.
Year three,
Year three,
they're working more on what they had been started in year
then they do more work, but what thing they don't start the other year before.
Year four,
Year four,
they're continuing to work on previous
they still they
drugs.
continue for work on the previous thing they would have do.
And year five, they finally release the drugs to the population.
And year five, finally, then release the medicine them to the people them.
They always have a drug in year one, and they always have a drug in year two, and they always have a drug in year
get
three.
medicine year one, year two, year three, they will get the medicine there.
Year four and year five.
Year four and year five, they will get this medicine all the time.
When a drug comes out the end of the pipeline, they put a new idea in the beginning.
So when the medicine come out at the outside and the other end of the pipeline, then they start a new idea and at the beginning back.
That's how I train leaders.
Now so in the train leaders,
I'm always have someone in the pipeline.
we always get somebody in the pipeline.
Do you?
You get?
Let me tell you about a few of the men in my pipeline.
I'll tell you about some of the people that are already in my pipeline.
There's a man in Peru. His name is Luis.
I guess somebody in Peru where he named Luis.
Because of technology, we're able to talk.
Because of technology, mobile phone and internet, we're able to talk.
And I go there twice a year.
And I can go there 2 times per year.
And I am training him to be a leader of leaders.
So I train him so that I will be leader of leaders, of other leaders then.
And he is now coming out of the pipeline.
And in there about for come on at the pipeline.
And I've made him to be a spiritual father.
And I don't train him so that I will become spiritual papa.
He calls me dad.
And they call me papa.
He is one of 11 children.
In one of me 11 picking them.
His father had 7 women that he had 11 children with.
And papa get 7 women then we get 11 picking them.
Now, this is a Catholic nation, not a Muslim nation.
This is not a Catholic country, not a Roman Catholic country, not a Muslim country.
In other words, he never had a dad.
In other words, he never ever get papa.
So I have been like a spiritual father to him.
So I don't actually be spiritual papa to him.
And God has healed his heart.
And God don't mend that whole beginning.
And now he's able to be a spiritual father to many of the men
So
and
now
women.
himself don't able to become spiritual papa to other man and woman them.
Let me tell you about a man over here at the beginning.
Let me tell you about the man where we begin.
His name is Christopher.
Another man named Christopher.
And I led him to the Lord 3 months ago.
I bring him to Jesus 3 months ago.
He is a United States citizen, but he was born in Central America.
In a United States citizen, USA in a citizen, but Central America they born him.
And so I led him to the Lord, and we water baptized
So
him.
I lead him to the Lord and we baptize him.
And I said, "You're a future leader."
And I tell him, say, you're a future leader.
I said, "The best thing for a future leader is to get in over their head."
The best thing for leader for the tomorrow, now for let you get what?
To get in over your head. It's a phrase.
For get inside over your head.
It's a figurative phrase. It means to be in water so deep that it's above your head.
Okay, that means say you for go inside the water so deep that the water cover you.
And not physically.
Not physically.
Figuratively.
But you know.
So in other words, get out of your comfort zone. Do things that you don't have the ability to do.
For use another word, that means that you for come out of the place where you're too comfortable. Do things the way you know say you're not normally able to do.
He's 23 years old.
Now 23-year-old.
So the very first thing I said to him,
the very first thing I tell him,
on day one of his salvation,
from day one where you see Jesus,
I want you to come with me in 6 weeks.
I want to let you come with me in 6 weeks time.
Go to South America.
For let we go to South America.
And you're going to be my translator.
And now you're going to translate for me.
His eyes got great big.
Then I opened the big one.
He didn't know what to say.
He don't know what to say.
He said, "Okay."
He said, "Okay."
And he came.
And he came with me.
He had never translated ever.
He not ever translate it before.
I was taking an enormous risk.
Now big risk myself been take.
What if he wasn't any good?
What if you're not doing good at all for this thing?
So I was in over my head too.
Inside be not go inside the water, deep one pass mark, the water don't cover them.
That's what leaders do.
Now that the leader then they do.
So he came and he was excellent.
He come and he do the thing fine one.
As a matter of fact, one of my friends that was with me,
in fact, one of my party that have been there with me,
he said, "That's the best translator I have ever seen."
He said, "This is the best translator I don't ever see."
So every week, because Chris lives in a different area from me,
so every week, because Chris they live in a different place from Musa me they live,
we do discipleship by my phone.
So we do learning boy business through the phone.
We have a video phone call.
We can do video phone call.
And so I'm discipling him.
So I disciple him.
I'm making him to be a leader.
I try to make him follow be a leader.
Who's in your pipeline?
Who that in your pipeline?
Okay, let's talk for a minute.
Okay, let's talk for one minute.
About the qualities of a future leader.
About the thing that we're supposed for day inside a future leader for tomorrow.
So let's look in the book of Acts chapter 6.
So let me look at the book of Acts chapter 6.
So there was a problem.
So what problem in there?
And the apostles came together and they said, "Let's solve this problem."
The apostles then came together and said, "Let me solve this problem." Yeah.
And the problem was that there wasn't enough, that some of the widows were being neglected.
The problem had been that we've been widow them in there, where them in the neglect.
And the apostles said, "We don't want to stop preaching the gospel to serve tables."
So the apostles then said, "We don't want left for the preach the gospel so that we can serve people them."
This was their solution.
So this has been the solution where they made.
So this is Acts chapter 6 verse 3.
So this is now Acts chapter 6 verse 3.
He says, "Okay, choose from among yourself."
He said, "Okay, una take among yourself
7 good men
7 good man them
that have a good reputation.
We get good record among people them. Reputation record among people.
Who should you pick as a future leader?
Who do you pick as leader for tomorrow?
Someone with a good reputation.
Somebody will get good record.
Now what happens if they don't have a good record?
What thing will happen if they don't get good record?
Continue to disciple them until they have a history.
So now for begin for disciple them until they get good record.
Because after a couple of years, they will have a good reputation.
Because after a few years, then go begin get good reputation.
They also should be full of the Spirit of God.
They're also supposed to be full of God's Spirit.
And they should be full of wisdom.
And then forget sense, God in sense.
And then in verse 5,
and inside verse 5,
they talked about Stephen.
He talked about Stephen.
They said he was a man of great faith.
And said Stephen, a man will get faith, big one.
So those are some of the qualifications you should look for.
So that's some of the things that you for look for.
And another, let's read 2 Timothy 2:2.
Let me read 2 Timothy 2:2. Follow for another thing.
Is someone here, could they read it aloud?
Somebody there will go read it aloud.
Does anybody have their Bible where they can stand up and have a microphone?
Anybody
and read
got
aloud?
Bible, they will go team up and take mic and read them.
If so, just step right up here.
You can come if you do. I'll give you my mic.
You can use my mic if you need one.
You can use my mic if you need one mic.
You interpret.
Second Timothy chapter 2 verse 2.
2 Timothy chapter 2 verse 2.
And the things that you have heard from me among many witnesses.
The thing that way that you read from me among other people them.
Commit this to faithful men who will be able to teach others also.
Transfer unto people that were faithful where themselves go for teach other people them.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The qualifications that Paul said,
the thing then we go qualify person what Paul say
for someone to be in your pipeline,
for let it be in your pipeline,
is that they would be faithful.
Then supposed to be faithful.
He did not say that they would be people that show potential.
He's not saying that people the way they show potential or ability.
He did not say people who are born leaders.
He not say people the way them born them as leader.
He said people who are faithful.
He said people the way faithful.
How many here have the potential to be faithful?
How many people then don't have things that they're able to be faithful?
Does anybody not have their hand up?
Anybody there and not there up?
They're probably asleep.
Sometimes asleep then they sleep.
Take your elbow and go like this and hit them.
Make your elbow, not cancel with your elbow.
Wake up.
Wake up, wake up, wake up.
Put your hand up.
Put your hand up.
Your hand is up.
Your hand up.
You have the potential to become a leader.
You able to be a leader.
I don't look for people who have a lot of gifts.
I'm not look for people that will get beaucoup gifts.
I look for people who have faithfulness.
I look for people that will be faithful.
Some of them will be very gifted speakers.
Some of them they really sabi talk.
Some won't be able to speak at all.
Some they not sabi talk at all.
That was me.
Now so I've been there.
If we only trained people that showed potential,
if we they only train people the way they show potential,
I would never have become a leader.
I'm not going to ever be a leader.
So when I told you about this young man, Christopher,
so when I be to tell you about this young man, Christopher,
that was his test to see if he would be faithful.
That will be in chance for see if he go be faithful.
He's just early on in the pipeline.
He just don't begin at the pipeline.
He's got a lot of years yet before
plenty years and more
before he can come out.
Before he go come out outside to the general public.
Let me just say this.
Let's just say this one.
Leaders have to be formed and fashioned.
Leaders then are people them way you they make them and you design them.
And they have to be forged in the fire.
And you get to pass them through the fire.
Have you ever seen how iron is melted and then made into a tool?
You ever see inside and they melt iron and then they make it into something else?
We call that being forged.
We call that they being forged. In other words, then they design them.
Every leader has to be forged in fire.
Every leader they need for passing through the fire.
Has anybody here been in the fire?
Anybody there would ever go inside fire?
I mean, if I had more hands, they would be up.
I mean, say if I can get Boku and pass this, I go raise them all up.
I have been forged in many fires.
I don't pass through Boku fire then.
Let's go back to faithfulness.
Let me go back to faithfulness.
You know, that's kind of a general term. Are you faithful, brother? Are you faithful?
You faithful, brother? You faithful?
Oh, yeah, I'm faithful.
Yeah, I'm faithful.
Okay, are you faithful with your time?
You faithful with your time?
Are you faithful with money?
You faithful with money?
Oh, now we're talking about fire.
Now we talk about fire.
Fire!
Fire!
How can I entrust church money into his hands
How go able to put church money in your hand
if he can't even handle his own money?
if you're not even able to handle your money already?
Can you handle money?
You able to handle money?
Are you faithful with money?
You faithful with money?
You see, I believe God wants to bless you with finances.
I believe say God wants to bless you with money.
Amen.
Amen.
But if you are not faithful with a little bit,
But if you're not faithful with the small one that you get,
you will waste it when you
you
get
will
it.
waste time if you get plenty.
And one day,
And one day,
you have to stand before Jesus
you
Christ,
get what you before Jesus Christ,
and he's going to look at you,
and you get to look you,
and he's going to put fire upon your good works,
and you get to put fire upon you work the way you do,
and we will see how faithful you were with
and we will
God's
see how
money.
faithful you've been there with Papa God the money.
How many would like that fire to demonstrate that your good works were made of gold?
How many of you go on to make the fire show say with good work then now gold now go on with?
How many want that good work to burn up and be ashes?
How many people want to work what they do when Jesus put fire upon them, lay burn and turn ashes?
Be faithful with money.
You're supposed to be faithful with money.
Is our leader,
Like we leader,
our pastor Shadunke Johnson,
Pastor Shidanke Johnson,
is he faithful with money?
be faithful with money.
His stories tell you how he's generous.
His story and they tell you how he good to people.
One of the reasons I'm here this year,
One of the reasons that we make Adenaya this year,
I want to observe how he is faithful with money.
I just want to see how he faithful with money.
Because I'm hoping to go back to the United States
Because I dey hope say I get to go back to America
and talk to some of my friends
and talk to some family party them
about supporting the work here.
for let them support the work we're doing around.
But let me tell you something.
But make I tell you something.
If I come here and I see people who are arrogant,
If I come here and I see people them way
prideful,
they're arrogant and full of pride,
or if I see people all they care
They're
about
futile.
is their titles
and I see people that always then care about not just the entitled they wouldn't get
or their position,
or the position they wouldn't
they
get.
want everyone to serve them,
They want let all man serve them
and they want to be like a king.
and they want for town like say they're a king.
I think Shadunke talked about building your own empire.
I think say Shudanke talk about the one that want for build their own kingdom.
Are you building your kingdom or God's kingdom?
Now your kingdom you dey build on a Papa God in kingdom you dey build.
Because if I tell my friends support them,
If I tell me party then say support them,
but the reality is you're building your own kingdom
but true and a young kingdom you dey build
because you want some fame and glory.
because you want forget name, you want for let people they know you,
You want to brand your own name.
you want for let people then sabi your name.
No.
Now you dey design.
I'm the Bo Wilfong Ministries.
For ministry.
Bo Wilfong International.
We for international ministries.
The Most Holy Reverend Bo Wilfong International Ministries.
The Reverend way holy pass all the Reverend them, but we for international ministries.
Deliverance, prayer, power,
Deliverance, prayer, power, kingdom.
So I'm here to see, is that what Shadunke Johnson is about and his leaders?
See if Nadande Shudanke Johnson they do or in leader then they do.
Is that what the people of Liberia or
Nadande
Ghana,
people in Liberia or Ghana
the Gambia,
or Gambia
Togo,
or Togo
Nigeria,
or Nigeria
Cameroon,
or Cameroon
Guinea,
or Guinea,
Bissau,
Guinea-Bissau,
Okay, I left the other ones out.
Okay, I don't love the other one. Computer, I don't love them there.
Is that what you're about?
Now, don't about.
Or are you about becoming a leader?
Or you dey about for turn leader.
And are you going to raise up leaders?
Or you dey raise other leader them.
100 years from now,
100 years from today,
Africa will either be for Jesus Christ,
Africa go either day for Jesus Christ,
or Africa will be the same.
or Africa go still be the same Africa we sabi so today.
It depends on one thing:
It depends on one thing.
the leaders you raise
The
up.
leader them will be raised up.
You see, I started by saying Moses almost failed.
I start for telling us say Moses almost failed.
Do you understand why I said that?
You understand what you make I be say that?
Moses takes the children of Israel out of Egypt into the wilderness,
Moses take the children of Israel out of Egypt to the wilderness.
and every day everyone would come to him with the he had to be judge of the
Every
problem.
day, all man go they come to him so that he go come for can settle and case them.
And the line was really long.
And the line be so long.
He was not raising up leaders.
It not been there raise other people them.
He was doing it all himself.
If they do it all by himself,
Maybe he thought, well, I can't turn it over to my brother because he's not very good yet.
sometimes they think say I'm not going to hand over this responsibility to my brother because he's not too good yet.
It's okay if you turn something over to a young disciple
It's okay if you hand over some responsibility to a young disciple
and they make a mistake.
and then mistake.
I expect them to make a mistake.
You will expect them to make
I
mistake.
actually want them to make some mistakes
I actually want to let them make some mistake
because they need to have humility built into them.
because they're supposed to be humble. Humility is supposed to be inside them.
Moses' father-in-law came to him and said, hey, the way you're leading is not very good.
Moses in father-in-law come meet him and say the way they lead so you not good.
You need to raise up leaders.
You supposed for raise other leader them.
And so Moses brought in, I think it was 70 young men.
So Moses bring about 70 young man them.
And he made them to be leaders.
And he turned them leader them.
So I love my friend Shadunke Johnson.
So I like me Paddy Shudanke Johnson.
But if he is not raising up leaders,
But if you know they raise leader them,
doesn't matter how great he is,
it no matter how great it don't turn.
100 years from now,
100 years from today,
Africa will not be changed.
Africa no go change.
But if he makes leaders,
But if they make leader them,
men and women who are spiritual mothers,
man and woman they when a spiritual mama
who
them,
are spiritual fathers,
when a spiritual papa them,
have a pipeline.
we get pipeline.
Every time someone comes out and you release
Every time
them,
when somebody they come in and release them,
someone new comes in.
somebody new they come in.
Your pipeline actually gets bigger.
Your pipeline actually they grow bigger.
You can get more people
You
in.
can still get more people than in,
And you're producing yourself and someone even greater than you.
and you dey produce yourself and some people they were even great past you.
And Africa will be changed.
And then Africa go change.
Is that what you want?
Now down there you want?
I said, is that what you want?
Now down there you want?
Go make leaders.
Go and make leader them.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Can somebody put your hands together for Jesus?
Somebody go put your hands together for Jesus.
I want us to stand up and stretch.
I want to lift him up and stretch.
Stretch.
Stretch small.
Stretch.
Stretch.
I think that can do us a little bit good.
I think so then we go help you small.
Amen.
Amen.
We are coming to have our next teacher.
When they can't get the next teacher,
Have your seat, please.
we are sit down quick.
Please, for those of you who apply to be pastors and have not been interviewed, go at the back of the hall.
Una we apply for the pastor in the interview na it. Una go
At the
behind the
back.
hall. Na the back yonder.
At the extreme back, just go and sit
Behind the
there.
hall by
Sit.
yonder and sit down there. Just behind. At the behind side.
We are having the first
We
foreign
get
teacher.
The first woman teacher today.
She is a mother of the house.
Now, mama na this host.
And she is like our father.
And Italek say na we papa.
She doesn't want to be introduced that much.
Okay, if you know we papa, instead no like follow the introduce him.
And so I want us to put our hands together as I call upon the program.
Put your hand together.
Reverend Mrs. Doris Giant. Shout hallelujah!
Thank you so much.
Well, thank you.
Good morning, everybody.
Morning.
Are we all happy this morning?
We're all glad this morning.
Shall we put our hands together for Jesus?
Let's clap for Jesus.
Hallelujah!
Amen.
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 It is good to be in God's presence.
It's fine for them are God in presence.
Teaching the word of God to God's people.
But talk about God in word to God in people.
Especially to women.
More like the woman then.
I'm happy to be a woman.
I'm glad you're a woman.
Are all the women in this house happy to be women? Just put your hands together for Jesus.
For Jesus.
Hallelujah. This morning I'm talking on the topic.
This morning I talk from
disciple.
From a disciple.
Making movement.
DMM.
With the role of women in that.
Our woman and the inside DMM.
It is very important to know that.
Very important for them to say.
Women. We are the first evangelists.
And the first people that will tell people.
Women, can't you put your hands together for that?
Clap for them.
Our Lord Jesus, before he died, gave us a great commission.
He gave you one great commission.
He said,
say,
go out. Go into the world and make disciples. Jesus' first word to his disciples,
the first thing Jesus telling disciples
was to fish for men.
His
last word was to make disciples. When Jesus commanded,
Jesus will tell them,
go ye into the world and preach the gospel to every creature.
And preach the good news to all men.
That commission was for every believer.
For all believers.
Regardless of sex, color,
no matter the color,
race,
no matter how you come out,
culture,
no matter how you go.
So women, we have the right.
We get the right
because it has been given unto us.
Because God will give back.
So go and make disciples.
Let me go and make learning more.
We should not sit back and say, because we are women, we cannot go out. That is not what Jesus said. He said go.
He said go.
Woman go. Man go. Everybody go. Every color. May you Indian. May you black. May you American. May you African. May you go. Just go. Hallelujah.
Amen.
So women, we have that power. We have the ability to make disciples. Jesus said, he that believeth on me,
you believe Jesus,
the works that I do, he do also. John 14:12. Anyone. He did not say if the men believe. He said anyone that believes. Including we the women. So if you the women, if you believe the works that Jesus did, you can also do. That time is past. When women were just at the backyard. And when they come to church, they don't say anything. Our time is now. Our time is now. Our time is now.
same
That is the end for we the women. Get up.
Follow the man and
Be on the goal.
go before.
Go for Jesus.
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 It is a commission
Because for that family,
that has been commissioned to us
that's not going to give you this work.
and to the men.
And you won't give the money back.
Let us do it together.
Then we all do it.
Amen.
Amen.
That this commission also included
This
both
commission
men and women
man or man,
and many great women.
and the good women then.
The leaders
The leader them,
have been strong and courageous
the
enough
strength and the
to
courage
prove it.
for the one.
John 14,
John 14,
12 to 14.
verse 12 to 14.
For both sexes,
For man and woman,
it includes women also.
man mix.
If women have enough faith to believe,
Woman then believe, tell them,
they can do it
also
also.
do it back.
There are several women in the Bible that
Who
are
will
empowered to do this.
Where them be get back for doing that thing there.
Among the first to be endowed with the power of the Holy Spirit,
One time the first one they get the power of the Holy
in
Spirit.
order to become witnesses for Christ,
So let's go out and share the good news.
we are women.
Now woman,
Acts 2:4,
if you look at Acts 2:4,
Acts 1:8,
Acts 1:8,
and examples of such women were
other example of a woman again now,
Lydia.
Lydia.
The story of this woman is worth considering.
That woman then story, fight for looking for.
She was the first European convert.
Now be the first European convert.
Acts 16:14.
Acts 16:14.
She was a wealthy woman,
If you get money,
had a home
you get house.
large enough to accommodate her family,
If you get land, forget your own family then
as
go.
well as guests.
And if you be able to forget other people of the
Acts
country.
16:15.
Acts 16:15.
She was a seller of purple,
If they sell purple,
which is the color of royalty in Western
what is
nations.
the color for our business?
She had wide contacts among the most influential European families.
The people that will matter will sabian.
She used that as advantage
She use them to her
to
advantage.
spread the gospel
So let's share the good news.
to these wealthy
So
families
they want to get money.
who have great political influence.
What are the data for political?
She was indeed like the virtuous woman of Proverbs chapter 1.
with Proverbs talk about.
Lydia was a wealthy woman.
Lydia will get money.
She had money,
He get money.
but she did not look at the money.
But not look because he get money.
She said,
He say,
I will use my money,
I will use my money.
I will use my trade
I will use my tech
to talk to people
but tell people
that
that
matter in society.
very important for society.
So she was preaching to families that were rich,
So if they push to other money people,
converting them, talking to them about Jesus.
they tell them about Jesus. They
She
teach them.
used her trade
He use it in the do.
to go to these families
So go to their family
so that they can come to Jesus.
so that they will come to Jesus.
My sister,
My sister,
my aunt,
my auntie,
today
today,
I want you to use that trade.
I want to use what you will do.
The trade that you are doing now
What you will do now.
to bring members to God's
To
kingdom.
bring people that
To
can
bring
go to
families to
kingdom.
God's kingdom.
Bring
So
family
go
to
out there, go to the villages
One of the village
and
men
bring people to
and
Christ.
bring people unto
You
Jesus.
can do it.
You will do it.
It is not impossible.
No people ask for you.
Everything with God, all things are
What God
possible.
do with you, what will do anything.
You can use that trade.
Use what you do.
Lydia used her trade
Lydia use the work
to bring people
for bring people
to
to
Christ.
Jesus.
We have the same opportunity to
Let's get that chance
to use our trade
to use the work we do
to bring people to
to
Jesus.
bring people into Jesus.
I'm a pastor.
I'm a pastor.
I'm also a caterer,
Then I dey make it businessman.
a teacher.
I dey teach man.
I have used my catering
I don't use the food business I dey make
to talk to so many people
but talk to the good people
to bring people to God.
for bring them to God.
I joined this ministry
I came at this church
in 1998,
since 1998.
and from that time,
From that same day,
1998 to 1980,
1998,
the only job I've not changed
the one thing we not change it
is working in the kitchen.
na for work in the kitchen.
I've never changed that.
I don't want to change that.
Those who know me
When they will
know that from 1998
they listen from my
to date,
Tell them.
I've always been in the kitchen.
In the kitchen, we cook.
Cooking, serving people,
They cook for some
Guests.
Guests them.
conferences,
For conference them.
everything.
All kinds of.
Notwithstanding,
Then they not happen.
also being a pastor,
Me na pastor.
I do
I
pastor in church.
go church one the
I'm
pastor.
a married woman.
I'm married man.
I take care of my
Take
family.
care of my family.
I work as a caterer.
I dey work my.
I cater for other people.
I dey cater for people. So
With all my jobs,
with all what I dey do,
I use this
I And they use the word
as an advantage to talk to people. To make myself to disciple others. Because I have to, like Chief Bo was saying, if you are retiring, if I want to retire, if you left work, who is going to take over me? Who will take after me? I try to put myself in different people so that when I'm old, I'm tired, there are people that will take after me. And even now, I'm not yet old. I'm still strong. Very strong. I still have people are taking after me. This is what you should do. This is what you should do as women. Do not keep your own potential. So trust yourself. Use it. So that you bring others to Christ.
To Jesus.
Amen. Number two, the Samaritan woman. This woman had 5 husbands. And she was living with another man to whom she was not married. The very day she was converted, she became one of Jesus' first evangelists. She brought a whole village to Christ. Here is a Samaritan woman. She wasn't married. But she was honest, very honest. When she came in contact with Jesus, she told Jesus the truth. When Jesus asked her, where is your husband? She said, I have no husband. Indeed, I have no husband. And Jesus said, you are right. He said, because you have had 5. And even the one that you have now is not your husband. And the woman said, can this be the Christ? She went the town, the village, and said, come and see. The woman had one thing. She had men that were not her husband. She was honest to herself. She used this to evangelize to other people. Come and see. The man that has sold me. All that I've gone throughout my life. You can use your testimony. Women, we have so many testimonies. You can use those testimonies to come to Christ. You can use those testimonies for other women to bring them to Christ. You can use your testimony. And such a man used her testimony for the village to come to Christ. She used her testimony. She said, come and see the man that has sold me all that I've ever done. What is your testimony? Is that testimony going to bring people to Christ? Are you going to make disciples out of that testimony? Hallelujah. Sometimes there are certain trials we face in life. It is to strengthen us, so that we use it to others, to strengthen them. We use them as testimonies. You are married. You have tough times in your marriage, but you are able to withstand those tough times. And you have a sister that is going through similar things. Use your testimony to build her up, so that she will be strong in her home, so that home will stand. Use your testimony. As the Samaritan woman used her testimony. Amen. We are talking about women in disciple making movements. We have to make disciples. How many have you made? In your communities, how many disciples have you made? In your home, do you have any disciples? In your working place, do you have any disciples? Number 3 woman. We are just looking at women, examples of women in the Bible that made disciples. We look at Priscilla. Acts 18. 24 to 28. She explained the way of God more perfectly to the powerful preacher Apollos. He be able to explain what God in business better than to Apollos. Priscilla, she was a woman. Look at a man. Look at this man. Apollos. The Bible says he was a wonderful preacher. Powerful preacher. But notwithstanding,
But by all that,
Priscilla explained
explain
the word of God more perfectly to me. So women, if you are able, or if you are, what do I say? If you give yourself to Christ, you will be able to do more than Priscilla.
You are able to do better than Priscilla.
Hallelujah.
Amen.
Hallelujah.
Amen.
Let us look at Simchi and Unice.
Let's look at Simchi and Unice.
These were spiritual leaders as Philippi.
Spiritual leader in Philippi.
They also labored with Paul in the gospel.
Then the name of Paul and his God word.
Paul spoke of these women.
Paul talked with them
as my fellow laborers.
Then I come to recommend them.
Which implies
when he say
they are doing a work similar to that done by Paul.
What Paul did they do?
They were doing the same thing.
And they did the same thing
as Paul was doing.
What Paul did they do?
What was Paul doing?
What did Paul did they do?
He was going out.
Where did they go?
Making disciples. Telling them about Jesus.
Telling them
Jesus. Leading people to Jesus.
People to Jesus.
These women.
So they were doing
the same thing.
They do the same
so
thing.
You too.
You can do the same thing. You can do the same thing.
You can join the men.
You can join the men.
The church planters.
Let
us go out here.
Let me go
and plant churches.
And plant churches.
And there are some places. It is better that women go there. Because there are places that women will go, men will never go. There are places that women will go, men will go there. There are offices that you will go. Men will go to those places. You have the capability. You get the capability. You have everything. You get everything. You have the beauty. You get the fine. You have the smile. You get the smile. You have everything. You get everything. You have everything it takes to go there. Why not go, my sister? Why not go, my sister? Go and make disciples. Let us go and make disciples. We are very important in disciple making. Important for this disciple making business. Hallelujah. Amen. We look at another woman. Let's look at other woman. Phoebe. She was a deaconess in her church. She had been deaconess in her church. Who Paul said? What Paul said was a helper of many. She also oversaw 2 churches. She also built 2 churches and traveled extensively to in the ministry. She was traveling. She did not sit in her church, or in her community, but she was traveling, going out making disciples, telling people about Jesus, bringing them to Jesus. She was traveling. We can do it. We can do it. If a woman has done it before, we too can do it. You can travel. Go around your community. Wherever you are. In your cities. In your towns. In your villages. Beyond. You can go. And make disciples. Go and make disciples. Let us not say where we are. No, we say we do. Do not be happy with what you are doing now. Not glad with what you are doing now. I've already won 10 women. No, say I don't win 10 women. You have done nothing. You do nothing. Go and do more. Make more disciples. Make more disciples. Make more disciples. We are very important in disciple making. Important for this disciple making business. Because there are places. Because men cannot go. Men go go. But women can go. Women can go. You can go and make disciples there. Disciples. It is good for us to go as women. It's good for us to go as women. Go and make disciples. It is very good for us. But there are things it takes to be actively involved in disciple making. As women, to be involved actively in disciple making, we must first believe and be baptized. First of all, you believe God and you have to be a believer of Christ. You cannot tell somebody about another person. You don't tell person about another person when you don't believe in him. When you don't believe in him. I will only tell people about people that I believe in and trust in. I will only tell people about somebody I will stand proudly here. I will stand up and talk about Reverend Johnson. All I know about him because I know him. Because I am. I I know him. I know what he believes in. I know what he stands for. So I can talk about him. So if you want to go and make disciples, you want to go and bring people to the kingdom, you have to believe in Christ. You have to believe that Jesus is the Son of God. He was born of a virgin birth. He died, resurrected, and he's seated at the right hand. He's seated at the right hand of the Father. Hallelujah. You have to believe. You have to confess Jesus. You have to confess Jesus and be baptized. Hallelujah. Number two thing, you have to be empowered with the Holy Spirit. You have to make the Holy Spirit can to become witnesses for Christ. Acts 2:4. Acts chapter 2 verse 4. You need to be empowered by the Holy Spirit. You need to make the Holy Spirit inside you. The first speaker was saying, to make disciples and plant churches is all the work of God. Now very work. It is true. Not true. Except you are empowered. Plus you get the Holy Spirit inside you. Jesus said to his disciples, do not go anywhere. Say, wait until I send the Comforter. I send the Holy Spirit for you. Empower you before you go. My sister, this is all about women today. Because I'm talking about women in DMM. You have to be empowered by the Holy Spirit. You have to be empowered by the Holy Spirit. Pray for that gift. If you want to go, pray. Seek the face of God. Go talk to God. Talk to God every day. If possible, fast and pray. You have to be empowered. You cannot do it by yourself because the word of God said, "My strength shall no man." My strength shall no man prevail. It's only by the power of God that you prevail. And your strength shall not prevail at all. So do not use your strength. Do not say, "I'm very beautiful." The sooner I go there, look at my beauty. No. Do not say, "I'm well dressed." When I go there, look at my dressing. No. You have to be empowered. You have to be filled with the power of the Holy Spirit. Except you are filled with the power of the Holy Spirit, you cannot do it by yourself. You cannot do it by yourself. Because when you are empowered by the Holy Spirit, the Holy Spirit will lead you. The Holy Spirit will show you. The Holy Spirit will lead you to the people. The Holy Spirit will show you to the people God wants you to go. Where God wants you to go to. Hallelujah. Are we understanding anything? We understand? Hallelujah. I want us to read Acts 2:4. Acts chapter 2 verse 4. Acts 2:4. Acts chapter 2 verse 4. Chapter 2 verse 4. Acts 2:4. And they were all filled with the Holy Spirit and began to speak with other tongues as the Spirit gave them utterance. The Holy Spirit became inside them and then begin to talk other language as the Holy Spirit will give them. When you are filled with the Holy Spirit, the Holy Spirit can inside you. Wherever you go, you will not begin the talking. You know you need to talk for yourself. The Holy Spirit will give you utterance. The Holy Spirit will tell you what to say. The Holy Spirit will be your senior partner. The Holy Spirit will be a spokesman for you. We teach you what to say. So you will not be embarrassed. You will not be ashamed. You will not be afraid. Because the Holy Spirit is there. The Holy Spirit does the work. Hallelujah. Amen. Number three. What it takes to be actively involved in DMM as women. What you forget for you depend this DMM business be selfless. If you forget what you said. Romans 16:17. Romans chapter 16 verse 7. Romans 16 verse 7. Be selfless. Forget about yourself. You have to forget about yourself. Forget about yourself. Be selfless as women. Women, they don't know the thing about yourself. Do not not think that, oh, I'm too good to do this.
Don't feel say me are too posh for doing kind thing.
I should not be talking to this kind of people.
I never talk to that kind of person.
They are far below me.
I don't know me.
I cannot do this.
I never do
I
that.
cannot do that.
I never do that.
No.
No.
You have to be selfless.
Forget what you say.
Forget about yourself. Die to self.
Forget what you say.
You have to die to self.
Better forget what you say.
To be able to go and make disciples, you really have to die to self.
Forget what you say.
There are people you meet.
People you know you go meet.
You talk to them.
You go talk to them.
Maybe they will not answer you properly.
They don't answer you fine.
They will not even look at you.
They don't look yourself.
If you are not if you die to yourself,
If you don't forget what you say,
oh, you get offended.
you go vex.
Maybe
Sometimes
you raise your voice,
you go holler.
or you do something else.
Or go do another thing.
But if you die to self,
But if you don't think what you say,
if you are selfless,
if you don't think what you say,
wherever you go,
any say you go,
you won't find any difficulty.
you don't go find things.
So you have to be selfless.
So you forget what you say.
You have to be selfless.
Don't think what you say.
Women in disciple making,
Someone know what they disciple make.
even in making disciple,
Even when you make disciple,
putting yourself into somebody else,
you make like somebody feel
you have
like
to be selfless.
you don't forget what you say.
You have to do so many things to bring that person to your own level.
Another person can and you know
You share your food with that person.
you don't like
You share your clothes,
you close,
your money,
you money,
your house,
yes,
everything you have,
until you go.
you share.
You dey show.
Your time,
You tell.
sometimes
Sometimes
you even deprive yourself
you dey even deprive yourself
of certain things
for something new.
and give it to that person.
You the person.
Are we getting it, women?
Woman know they get time.
We have to be selfless.
You don't let her think by yourself no more.
Be selfless.
Let her think by yourself no
We
more.
have to be
Let
selfless.
her think by yourself.
In disciple making,
Can make
you
disciple.
don't think about yourself
Think
alone.
what yourself no more.
We have to be selfless. Hallelujah.
Amen.
Number 4,
Number 4,
accommodating and handles the word of God very well.
you for able for do God work better than man.
And accommodating.
And for the accommodating.
Acts 16,
Acts 16,
14 to 15,
verse 14 to 15.
Romans 16, 2.
Romans chapter 16, verse 2.
Accommodating.
Able for accept people.
Women,
Woman,
you have to be very accommodating.
able for allow people.
You have to accept people.
Accept people.
There are some of us,
Some of you there,
women, we do not open our doors to
you know
everybody.
the open, you don't know story man.
We open our door to classes.
You know, pick and choose.
This person,
This person.
no, it's not fit to come and sit in my living room. The way this person is dressed,
Look at the dress.
I cannot accommodate this
I
person.
don't allow let's go to the church.
This person,
This one.
no, I cannot do this to this person.
No,
Because this person is below me.
This one not to be like.
Women are very fussy about class.
Woman they like for make much class.
But if you want to make disciples,
But if you want to disciple,
you have to be accommodating.
you don't allow.
Open your doors wide.
Open your mouth.
Open your heart wide.
Open your
Not
heart.
only your door, but also your heart should be
Open
open.
your mouth. So many hearts.
Open your doors and your heart.
Open your mouth. So many hearts.
Accept people the way they are.
Allow people to
Look
forget
at them
what
with
they
their eyes that Jesus sees them.
look at the eyes Jesus and look them.
If you don't look at people the way Jesus look at them,
If you don't look with Jesus in
if
Kenya,
you don't use the eyes that Jesus
you
sees,
don't use the Kenya with Jesus you.
you will never accept people.
You never accept people.
You will never accept them.
You never accept
But
people.
see them the way Jesus
See
sees
them
them.
how Jesus see them.
Accept them the way Jesus
Let me know how
accepts them.
Jesus take them.
By so doing,
If you do that,
you'll be able to make disciples.
you're able to make disciples.
Accommodate people.
Allow people in.
Accommodate them.
Allow them.
So that you'll be able to make
So that
disciples.
you will make disciples.
Open your doors.
Open your mouth.
Open your hearts.
Open your heart.
Let that heart of yours,
Let your heart.
let it be like Christ.
Let people Christ you.
Accept everybody.
Allow all man.
Don't look at the race.
Don't look at the yes.
Don't look at the tribe.
Don't look at the kind time.
Don't look at the financial status.
Don't look at the kind of way again.
Do not look at class.
Don't look at the class.
Look at the person the way the person is.
Look at how you don't know.
That person is made in the image and likeness of
That
God.
person the God make and like how himself do.
Jesus loves the person.
Jesus like him.
Therefore you should love that
You
person.
back for like him.
Because Jesus loves.
Because Jesus loves.
You should also love. If you say you are a follower of Christ.
If you say that Jesus is a follower.
If you say you want to win disciples.
If you say you want to win disciples.
When Jesus was giving the great command.
When Jesus was giving the great command.
He did not say. Go to honor those that you love.
Go to the one that you like.
Go to honor those that you are in the same class with.
Go to the one that you like.
Go to the same people that you are in the same tribe with.
Go to the one that you like.
He said. Go. Irrespective of color.
Irrespective of the same color.
Grace.
Go to the same race.
Financial status.
Go to the same religious status.
Education of background.
Elected to personal land.
Everything. He just said.
He said, go.
Make disciples. Hallelujah.
Amen.
Open your heart to them.
Open your heart to
see them as they are.
See them out and know
that they are my image. Know that they are my image. As you see them, you see me in them. Whether they are thieves, whether they are liars, whether they are poor, whether they are black, whether they are white, whether they are green, they are all part of me. So go and tell them about me. Hallelujah. You should also know the word of God. Because you only be able to do this if you know the word. When Christ was being tempted,
temptation becomes to Christ.
He only overcame the devil.
The only way overcome the word of God.
He said, it is written.
He said, it writes on the Bible.
It is written. If you do not know the word,
if you don't know the word,
you will not say it is written. No.
You don't say it.
Except you say, I have it. It is written.
It writes on the
word of God says that.
God word says so.
God word says so.
God word says so.
It is written. Thou shalt not eat by bread alone. By every word.
But every word.
You see, except you have to know the word of God. This is study the word of God.
Study the word.
You that know how to read.
You will study read.
Even those that do not know how to read.
You
listen to the word of God.
Listen to the word.
If you listen to the word of God,
you listen to the word.
Empowered, my sister. There are people that did not go to school. But because they listen to the word of God, they are empowered. They are winning people for Jesus. They are bringing more women into the kingdom of God. Yes. The word of God is the only tool. It's the only tool we use to bring people to God. The word of God. God's word. God's word is so important. You have to study that word. Study it. Digest it. Eat it day and night. Every day. You have to read that word. My sister. Let it be part of you. Let it be part of you. Read the word of God. To empower you. To make disciples. To tell people about God. If you are talking to people to come to Christ, use the Bible. Use the Bible. Use what the Bible says. Use what's in the Bible. Tell them what is written in the Bible. What's right inside the Bible. Then you'll be able to bring them to Christ. Hallelujah. Amen. Number five. I'm talking about women in disciple making movement. You have to have the ability to follow. There are people they want to be leaders. But don't want to follow any leader. Hallelujah. Especially with the women. If you have a leader, if you have leaders that you do not want, even if she speaks to you, the next time you talk to her, I have the same quality as she has. Why should I follow her? I'm more educated. I have money. Why should I follow her? You have to have the ability to follow. Because if you don't have that ability, nobody will follow you. Nobody will follow you. The word of God says, do unto others and to let others to do. Except you follow, nobody will be ready to follow you. Hallelujah. Amen. You have to follow others. You have to follow your leaders in the godly way. Otherwise, you will talk to people. They look at you. Look at your life. What What is this woman telling me? She wants me to come to Christ. She wants me to follow her. But who is she following? Who are you following? Who are you following? Who are you following? You have to follow.
You get to follow person.
Women, it is hard time. Let us drop our pride.
Put your pride on side.
Drop your pride.
Put your pride on side.
Look up to Jesus.
Look to Jesus.
Look to Jesus.
Look to Jesus.
Pride does not play.
Pride will not play.
Pride goeth before destruction.
Before problem can apply to you.
You cannot do God's work with pride in you.
You cannot do God's work with pride.
You have to put yourself down.
You have to put yourself down.
The word of God tells me the way up is down.
God wants to go up and I don't.
Even as I'm standing here,
as I
after my time of teaching,
where's that teaching?
I'm going to the kitchen.
I'm going to the kitchen.
I'm going to change.
I'm going to change.
And start cooking.
And you cook.
Put yourself down.
Put yourself down.
Preach. If I speak to anyone, look at my life. They say I'm speaking the truth. I tell them about Jesus.
I tell you what you have come to me.
Who are you following? Hallelujah. The last one. In dear women, we should obey. Obedience is very important. Obedience, submission. Submit. Let me tell you one thing. When God gave us mandates in the Bible, He said to the men, love your wives. Let your wife. Do you know why? You know what to make? You know why? Ask me why, I will tell you.
Ask me what to make, I will tell you.
Because men,
they're young
in their eyes. It's only their eyes that they love it.
Man that they ride and they like it.
Because at first sight,
because as I see the first time,
they fall in love
and they like you.
This year, if I know, the way pastor, flash you. But with women, God knows we love. God knows we love. For our hearts, but we have to love. So what did He say?
What He said?
But He knows we are very proud.
He knows women are proud.
He said, women, be submissive. Be submissive. Every woman be submissive. Everyone is up. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Amen. Shall we stand and pray, please?
Let us stand and pray.
Hallelujah. Shall we pray, please?
Let me pray.
Father, I want to thank you for your word. I bless your name. I glorify your name. Lord, I pray this morning in the name of Jesus that as women, Father, I pray, oh Lord, that we come to the point where we know, Papa, that you alone are the most high, Papa. Papa, let us be humble in everything that you do, Papa. Teach us, oh God. Take away pride from our heads, Papa. Give us the empowerment to go, oh Lord, in the mighty name of Jesus. I thank you also for the name, Papa. God, I pray, Papa, that you use us together to do this great commission. I thank and honor your name. In Jesus' precious name, I pray with thanksgiving.
You can do better than that. You can do better than that.
You go do past Sunday.
We are made to understand that men love their eyes.
I don't understand say to the man the equity eye.
But also it's difficult for women to obey.
But in heart it's younger for let women they obey.
So we have to do our best.
So let we do the best.
Before our next teaching, we want to call upon somebody that will share a few testimony with us.
We want to call on somebody who can tell me small thing, good thing will happen to them. Testimony.
One of our brothers is in our midst.
One power brother then they among we.
But please, I want to remind everybody here.
But here I want to make all my members say.
And everyone in the radio land.
And you will listen to radio.
That this activity or this mega fest is live on Facebook.
Say all waiting with the dinner it will live on our Facebook
and YouTube.
And the YouTube.
And it's also live on Radio News Song.
And it will live on Radio News Song.
The Radio News Song is please asking that
Radio News Song they ask say
Those of us that came from different locations in the south especially.
We come from we're not gonna pay. We come from other side then.
That requests are available. You send a greeting request to your relative in the village live on radio for 1,000 euros.
He say you will want to make your family them pay out to say you come out. For me and no say they for this program. You can buy request from 1,000 euros, then you can talk live one. Then they no say indeed.
Presently, Radio New Song is covering the southeastern part of Sierra Leone.
Radio New Song day at the south, again at the east.
And those of you who came from Kono also, you can send some greeting during lunch.
We now go send greeting during lunch.
It's only for 1,000.
Just 1,000. Small.
The video CDs are also available.
All waiting they happen now. We don't put on a video CD.
From yesterday, the whole of yesterday.
From yesterday.
We have the plate available for 10,000 euros.
Get the CD now. We're going for watch and also live for 10,000.
But the good news is,
the fine news for that.
That is very limited now.
The good news now that if you waste time, by the time you get done,
so try as much as possible to get your own copy.
So try let's get now. Make get your copy quick.
God bless you.
God bless you.
We want to call on Brother Kwame. Can we put our hands together as our Brother Kwame is coming to share his testimony with us? Hallelujah! You know, testimony strengthens us.
Testimony they make we get strength more.
It builds on our faith.
It will make faith strong.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. I just want to use this opportunity for tell God thank you.
I just want to use this opportunity to thank God
from what I born in my life. Now the first thing this in my life for can't tell God thank you what you don't do for me.
Since I came to this world, this is my first time of standing in front of a congregation to give a testimony.
And I tell Pastor Johnson, thank you very much.
I want to thank our Papa in the house very much
for this opportunity.
For this big opportunity.
Actually, me a member from Winners Chapel.
I am a member of the Winners Chapel International.
I started Winners at the age of 12 years of age.
I joined the Winners Chapel at the age of 12.
Freetown branch. Now we build Freetown branch and we start Winners there at Block for Winners Chapel.
We started Winners Chapel in Freetown. We built it up.
Why I decided to can't give this testimony today.
The reason why I decided to come and testify.
What's God done in my life this few times.
For me throughout these days.
Actually, the devil to use you, mama, the pikin we born for destroy you.
Most times the devil uses the mother to even destroy the child.
The pikin for destroy you, mama.
Even the child. The devil use the child to even destroy the mother.
And me na one part the pikin.
And I am one of the child.
Actually, my mama na strong believer.
My mother is a strong believer in the Lord.
It gets with me and I mean the big one.
She gave birth to 3 of us. I'm the eldest.
I get 2 sisters.
I have 2 sisters.
I'm not gonna say I come out in a wealthy family.
I will not say I was born in a wealthy family.
But she is hardworking.
But my mother is very, very hardworking.
She do all the best for me.
She does her best for us.
Put me the best schools in this country.
She gave me the best education.
But the devil they use me for destroying.
But the devil was using me to destroy my mother.
So I tell God thank you for coming to my party.
So I want to thank God because I have the opportunity to stand here today.
For give testimony to God.
Testify to God Almighty.
And I tell God thank you for Pastor by your presence.
Thank God for Reverend Johnson.
It don't want to happen in my life.
It has never happened in my life.
For time?
Because of time.
Where did it come up?
When I was growing up.
Me I be somebody way be quiet so I get time with people.
I was very, very quiet.
I raised with my sisters and I hope they mingle with people and
I actually do not like to mingle with other people.
My best friend are the video games.
My best friend is my video game.
From school I was.
From my school I come back home.
Then later I decided for join bad friend.
Later I decided to join bad company.
I begin the club, I begin smoke, I begin the different things that mama don't even like of.
I started going to nightclubs, I smoke.
So later, this opportunity came to me, this evil opportunity came to me to travel for go Europe.
Later, I decided to travel to Europe illegally.
So the first thing we didn't come in mind,
what came into my mind first,
my mama be they show me some small business where they give me some money for go buy gold from car. They so trust me.
My mother was a business woman. She trusted me so much that she entrusted money into my hands to buy some gold.
At the early age 21, 22.
At the age of 21, 22 years,
I began all big money in my hand.
I started holding a large amount of money.
So the first thing that came to my when the friend began telling me about this Europe going.
What came into my mind initially when my friends were telling me about going to Europe illegally?
I take my mama in $2,000, 500.
I took my mother's money, about $2,500.
And then I told me, call me.
I was in Freetown, she called me.
He talked to me, begged me, cried.
She had to beg me and was crying, begging me.
He said, for me, I get all the opportunity for make you go Europe, but I want to make you learn something before you go Europe.
I said, my son, I have all the opportunity to send you to Europe, but I want you to be educated before you go.
I said, I lie, mommy, you don't like me, all that stuff for me.
My mother, you are lying, in fact, you don't love me.
I say, I want to become rich, I want to be like others, all that stuff for me.
I want to become a wealthy man.
That was 2012, the beginning of 2012.
That was 2012.
So I take the money, I go out. Why I go out?
So I took this money and went out.
I go Guinea Conakry.
I went to Conakry, Guinea.
I begin to life. I begin to club. I waste the money, begin sleep with different women.
I wasted my life in Conakry, Guinea.
At the age of 22, 23.
At the age of 22, 23 years.
Where any side already woman is saying that they like me, I've been facing a good me.
Wherever I went at that age, ladies would see and fall in love with me.
Because
I thought that was good.
Yeah, because when she see me, I'm good looking and intelligent, I get smart name for most people.
No sooner you see me, I was very smart, you will fall in love with me.
It's ugly make a tap on one.
It was difficult for me to propose to a woman and the woman denies me.
2012 September.
2012 September.
The money finished.
What I had in my hand got finished.
So I returned back to my mama.
So I had to come back to my mother
with the intention for can do something personally.
With the intention of coming back to do more than what I did before I left.
I go to a friend and make all kind like cry, beg people and then go beg them.
I went to my friends. I was on bended knees together with them to go to my mother and plead on my behalf.
Then the mommy accepts me back.
When we went together with my friends, we pleaded. My mother eventually accepted me back.
Nobody know they like mama.
There is no one like a mother.
Nobody know they like mama.
There is no one like a mother.
After 2 months ago,
2 months after,
the same idea come back to me.
This thought came back into my mind.
Because I know say mama like God business.
Because I know my mother is a faithful woman of God.
For the 2 months I diligently begin do things, begin go church, begin go Bible studies, all that stuff, and for confusion.
2 months I was so humble to her. I was going to church. I was obedient because I had something in mind.
Then later he called me back.
After this good thing I was doing, she had to call me back.
I said, Kwame, this trip.
She told me, Kwame, this time round,
I want me to start business again. I'm going to give you money for go buy gold back. After this business, the profits will go put them together. And who say I want to go study, you go study. I say, okay, mama.
I want again, Kwame, to start giving you money to go and buy the gold dust for me, so that I'll be able to use this money to educate you.
So I begin go and come, and begin give me surplus money for test me.
So she started giving me a huge amount of money also to test me if I am actually me.
But I be so smart and not saying I test you and test me.
But I was very, very smart. I knew she was trying to test me again.
So my attention not be there for how money they lose.
So you know what? It was aliens. I was not interested in it.
So one morning we go morning team service at church, that's all.
One morning she went for a service.
Me and somebody, any kind of mods, no where I get the key, where I get the same kind of key one else I open up.
There is no lock. there is no lock I will not be able to unlock.
No, not padlock, no door. What's that key they go inside and they open up?
There is no padlock that I will not be able to unlock.
Because I be the plenty things from the internet and are so good in terms of technology. I know plenty things then.
Because I learned a lot from the social media, especially the internet.
In November 2012,
November 2012,
I take the money $10,000.
I took $10,000 good dollars from my mother.
I can't go.
When I took the $10,000 from my mother, I came to go.
Because I attend both school.
I went to both school.
So later, I used $1,000 for toil around with friends, them, go all kind of life, sleep with campus ladies, do different things them.
This $10,000 I took from my mother, when I came to go, I ravished, I misused $1,000 with my friends unnecessarily.
So I decided to move, I go Liberia.
So I decided to leave both Sierra Leone and go back to Liberia.
I go begin Fenway for travel.
When I went to Liberia, I was doing everything in my power to go to Europe.
I come on Liberia, I go Guinea.
I left Liberia and went to Conakry.
I come on Guinea, I go Mali.
I left Guinea, I went to Mali.
From Mali, I go Burkina Faso.
When I left Mali, I went to Burkina Faso.
Because me and somebody who is smart, I quick for your language to the French because they inside me as I talk French.
Because I am very smart and I can learn a language that is not my language. So I was fortunate to speak French.
So I go Niger.
I went to Niger again.
So Niger, we meet some people who they travel for go Libya, for go Morocco, for go Nigeria.
When I went to Niger, I had the opportunity to meet with people who were traveling to Libya, Algeria. So
on the bus, they wrote me Algadez.
I onboarded the bus. We went to where? Algadez. Now
one of the most desert area. Niger is so hot, so in terms of 10 minutes you close one drive.
It is a desert area. If you launder your clothes within 1 and 10 minutes, it will get dry.
So like I go for take the advantage for go Libya, now the Sahara Desert.
I decided to go through the Sahara Desert in Libya.
One also plenty people, some people them they die. Even one over there at the camp, some man they go. Later they get the say this man not left in the desert, they don't die. All that stuff and they but not care. So this me I want go Europe, I go. If it happen, I don't want know.
Even though I knew people were dying during this dangerous journey, but I said I am not here. I don't want to know. I am still going to undertake this venture to go to Europe.
So I go on the way going for go Libya. Now the Sahara Desert, the motor get for stop. When the motor get for stop, the driver say make we calm down.
On my way to Libya to the Sahara Desert, we had a breakdown. And because of that, the driver told us all to come down the vehicle, and we all came down the vehicle.
So the men who come down will stand and say, "Wow, engineers, can I turn the motor? Go left me."
Immediately we came down out of the vehicle. He took a U-turn and left immediately.
Like the distance of from here to Masheka. Also from here to Masheka, all over the desert.
The distance where he dropped us, it was like from Bo to Masiaka, the highway going to Freetown.
Now there's that no shade, no nothing, I will just sun. One sun.
It was a desert. You will not see anything but the hot morning sun.
So we begin waka. Out the water, now so some man begin left. Out the water, we'll be there in 50 numbers. How will go some man they left there? Where some man left there? Are you set in the BC? Some man they left there.
We are treading on foot on the dry desert.
Some man begin.
On our way going, people will fall down and die. But you are not care. You were just concentrating going.
From there I begin cry for myself. I say, "Oh Papa God, now so you want me to can die now? With all the opportunity when you want give me, now so you want me to die now?" I begin crying.
I started crying and saying to myself, with all the opportunity my mother has given to me, is this the way I choose to die?
I say, "Can you open the reach again? Papa God, go up to me at this desert." I beg, I begin crying. What's another day again? We take 2 days, making 3 days. If we company, I will 5 London remember. The other one, the all man don't scatter. We don't let now go. When you left, we don't know.
I started saying, "God, take it from me. If it is your will, let it be done."
Europe, no Europe, I want to go Europe again. God saved me at this place here. So.
In fact, I even don't want to go to Europe again. God saved me here.
So at almost 7 o'clock night,
7 o'clock p.m.
we almost on here, the place where they call Tamaraset in Nigeria.
We were almost close to a place called Tamaraset in Algeria.
Now the first village after the Sahara from midst of Algeria.
That's the first village after going through the desert to reach Algeria.
Later, soldiers then just bought from one side to Germany and come out.
Later, we just saw a huge military.
Some of the friends when I was 5.
Some of our friends, we are 5 in number.
Because we saw me before.
2 were in front of us.
The one is a Guinean.
The one is a Guinean.
Inside the top French, so they communicate.
Fortunately, I was able to speak French. We are communicating.
When the soldier they get up, the only one that would be the 3 that would be them who actually, but they don't see we saw what we did before.
When the soldiers came, fortunately for me, we were in front with my friend who was speaking French. I was also speaking French. The 3 at our back, they were all captured by the soldiers, and we are fortunate they did not see us.
From there, we ran one village to this one small village before we reached Tamaraset.
We ran away to a small village before we eventually reached Tamaraset.
Now the last thing that they was accident ski off me friends and also again.
That was the last time I set my eyes on those 3 friends. After that, I did not see them again.
After that, they said Tamaraset they give failure for gold before.
We were in that village still trying to find our way out.
So later we get way for go Libya.
Later we had a way to go to Libya.
We will be also saying I want to go
I said when I was in the desert that I don't even want to go to Europe again. Let me come back.
So we get Moscow back for both. We did Moscow can't take you. Pay back money for go.
We had a vehicle. We onboarded and we paid and we are ready to go forward.
So like the Moscow don't move with you like 100 meters away, 100 or 150 meters away from the town.
The vehicle left about 100 meters or more away from the town where we were.
Then it had strike me. So come down this Moscow.
Then I had an instinct telling me to come down the vehicle.
So I come down and tell the driver, I said, the driver, wait a one piece.
And I told the driver I want to urinate.
He said, no, I want to stop now. I said, I go shift now.
The driver said, no, I am not stopping here. Then I told him I would defecate it.
Then everybody began saying, the driver, wait, make it not shift inside this Moscow.
Everybody was saying, driver, stop. We don't want him to mess the vehicle.
Because fearness won't overcome me. Let's say I seen at the past.
Because I was so fearful because of what I saw in the past.
So I can't know the Moscow. I said, I'm going near all the good news. So I walk by foot, come back to the town.
So I came down the vehicle and decided I was not going again. I came back to the town where
from then on, I come out Tamaraset and board on board for go Ujja.
I onboarded a vehicle again to go to where? Ujja.
That's Algeria now.
That is Algeria.
From Algeria, I go Oran.
After I left Algeria, I went to where?
Oran. Yeah, okay, Oran. From Oran, I bought into train for go Ujja. Inside Morocco now, the boundary between Morocco and Algeria.
Where I onboarded a train to go to where? Ujja, Morocco.
From there, at the end when I reached Algeria, the border was blocked. So the next that we get for farewell for travel back with a crowd. So Germany all around security and the way they who said they were going to go one way sabi.
When we landed in Algeria, the border was blocked. So we had to wait till night. We had to crawl on our bellies because everywhere there we are soldiers. No sooner they catch you, they will never see you again.
So unfortunately, rain began come.
It was raining, fortunately for us.
And no one forgets where like the place begin cold begin catch where I begin now for me. I don't want to see that kind of day.
Morocco weather is just like the European weather. Eventually, when the rain started coming, the place was so cold in a way that I was not able to cope up.
I said, me but now they can't die now. Cold, they can't kill me. All things don't begin after me.
I began telling myself, am I going to die here because of this cold?
I tell my friend, I said, I did not play so Germany. They ain't see me. They can't die now. They can't die now. I begin to cry.
I told my friends, I have zero my mind. I am getting up. If the soldiers want, let them kill me.
So later, I approached the one to Germany. And he said, man, say, you want to come out. Now I say, Papa, I said, I don't want to express here. So I said, this guy cold. And I catch me. And he said, one go free. I go free. And then the German get for all me.
So when I got up, I was about to move, one of the soldiers saw me and he told me, you, where are you going? Come back. And I had to tell the soldier, I don't want to die here. Take me wherever you want to take me.
So because while I come up, I get beer speech, I be out beers, so the bushy passes. I always make for left me beers.
I am so hearing in a way that I grew up my beers as one of the Arabs.
Then he asked me, say you're Muslim now? I said, no, we're not a Muslim, we're a Christian.
The soldier had to ask me, are you a Muslim? I told him, no, I'm not a Muslim.
Now he said, okay, say, come to go.
Then he told me, okay, come along with me.
He wants me at the camp.
He went me to the camp.
I did at the camp for 3 days.
I was in the camp for 3 good days.
Later he called 2 Nigerians then.
Later he brought 2 Nigerians.
So he asked the Nigerians them, they said they're Nigeria then.
He had to ask the Nigerians, and the Nigerians told him they are Nigerians.
So unfortunately, the one when at the captain by the soldiers them, it just can't like me.
Well, fortunately, one of the soldiers who was a high-ranked soldier, a captain, eventually fell in love with me.
He began giving me food, I began hints.
He started giving me food.
So he decided to take me go inside the local city.
So he decided to help me to go to Morocco City.
When I Rabat.
The city of Rabat.
So as I reached Rabat,
when we arrived in Rabat,
now he tell me, say, you know what, see?
Then he told me, you know what?
He said, I'm not saying Europe camp for Congo.
I know you came here with an intention to go to Europe.
But if I go back now, you can't, you not been sure.
But you know what? Don't even attempt it. Go back to where you're coming from.
He said, I like you.
He said, I love you.
I Mexican guys back.
I did not listen to what he said.
They get one side where they call Melia.
They had a place called Melania.
When I don't go skate for cross the border for go inside Spain.
That is the final point you reach, and then you cross over to Spain.
When I first you claim first will take something like 11 meters at all. First.
It is a fence that is high about 11 meters.
We passed 2,000 of free the blacks there.
More than 2,000 to 3,000 black men and women.
We go for go attack millionaires for succeed.
We went to make to jump or cross over the fence.
From them for that attack there.
When we made that attempt,
some of the friends were all together. Some go inside, some not go. Some fell and died. Because as soon as you're on the way for them, you die.
Some of our friends, they were fortunate and some were very unfortunate. Because when you cross over, by the time you land, you meet a rocky ground.
When you fall down, you die. No mercy.
When you fall down, definitely you are.
Plenty die. Boku of the world in account. Boku they die back then.
So many of my friends died.
So me I fall down this before I begin for Hamburg. The swell for me, the scrap.
I fell down. I had an injury on my foot.
From there I returned back now. So they called me some.
And I was brought back down.
Then after 3 months I become healed.
3 months later I was healed.
They are going to the other side when I was at. You go cross water for where you put it. There's small words there.
I decided to go through the Mediterranean Sea.
Now we 10, the Bible for yourself, there's small boats here with 10.
10 of us came together and bought a boat so that we use it to take us to where.
Midnight by 2 o'clock, when the soldiers they all lost sleep there, and we will put the boats on the water inside it.
10 of us in the boat.
Some sabi swim, some don't sabi swim.
Some knew how to swim and some did not know how to swim.
After God thank you, I've been out of swim small.
I thank God because I have no idea of swimming.
We didn't say on our side, the tourists make it tourists.
My brothers, we were in that water for 2 days. The 3rd day,
with soon when I will be together, the balance and God knows I didn't do.
It was only 2 of us we are together. The balance is only God know where they are now.
Me I don't say I don't give up. I say, hey, Pagona, can die.
I actually gave it up. I asked God, am I going to die here?
So later we get a rescue.
Later we had a rescue.
From now rescue they go to back na town.
From the rescue we were brought again to the town.
Now God I say, Papa God, you don't save me for all the trouble we have today. If we be saying I'm Europe, I go die for God I hope. Make I die now, me I don't want to count back.
I told God again, God, I have always asked you to help me. If it is only Europe I will go to succeed, then God bring me back to my country.
From that was the Ebola term, 2014.
That was the Ebola period in Sierra Leone, 2014.
All I'm going to go to London, Long West.
The $10,000, the $9,000 I was with, it got finished. I had nothing on me again.
So then begin saying, you know, Salo, you can't say Ebola, the outside people, they die now, say, now die, make I can die. I said, boy, I'm here to die again for go home. So I take the advantage, I come back, Salo.
People started discouraging me again. Ibadiman, you are going back to an Ebola country to go and die there. I told them, whether Ebola or not, I'm coming back to Sierra Leone. Let me go and die in Sierra Leone.
So I come beg my mommy, then my mommy accepts me back. So I tell God thank you. I tell God thank you. When God don't change me, like say I able to up here for tell this testimony. So I give advice to the fellow young man them. Do you forgo Libya, forgo Morocco? Do you make people in nobody? Because when God are different you see, God gets a plan for me. God gets a purpose for me. Now He make He send me kind of galaxy. So I tell God thank you. I give all the thanks and I tell Pastor thank you for this opportunity. God bless you, sir.
I came back to Sierra Leone.
Hallelujah. I think that testimony is also a word of advice for many of us, young men and women. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. I think say this testimony now advice for we the young man and young woman then.
Many of us are struggling to go to Europe by any means.
But who want per we want to go Europe any kind way.
But I believe God loves us so much, that is why He kept him alive to come and tell us what is on the way.
But I believe say God like us too much. Now He not make it die. Make it come for country that kind trouble and number whether na the road for going to Europe illegally.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Please, for those of you who have not been interviewed for the pastoral ordination, you can go at the back.
Praise the living God. We want to have our next teacher who happens to be.
We want for call with next teacher. Do you with the ask let everybody sit down? We're asking that everybody take your seat, please.
Hallelujah. We want to have our next teacher who happens to be Reverend Mrs. Santa Johnson.
Well, all right. Good morning, everybody. Hello. Thank God for technology.
Technology.
All right, because I'm getting the attention of everybody here.
Attention.
All right. Good afternoon or good morning.
Good morning, afternoon.
I'm here this morning.
I don't know how this morning.
Not to teach.
Not to teach.
Not to preach.
Not to preach.
But to tell you what we have been doing in our little corner.
For tell you what we have been doing in a small corner.
And that's the corner of New Harvest Development Office.
Now the corner of New Harvest Development Office.
All right. So the good thing is.
The good thing now.
You are not going to assess me.
You will not ever assess me.
You don't know what it means to be the wife of a public speaker.
You don't know what it means to be public speaker.
Hallelujah. There is so much pressure. People will kind of want to say, oh, the two shall be one.
People will always say the two shall be one.
But I am not Reverend Shudanke Johnson. Your charismatic teacher.
Yes, sir, we teach.
Your preacher.
Yes, sir, we preach.
I am Santa Johnson.
And
I really felt the relief last night when I heard Apostle saying the original.
And let's candle.
And so I am going to do what I'm supposed to do as Mrs. Santa Johnson.
So many of you are supposed to do as Santa Johnson.
And with that, I apologize if I don't meet your expectations.
I'm so sorry if I don't do what you want.
If you are wanting to see the female side of Reverend Shodanke, besides, he's very hard to imitate.
Advocate.
Alright, so now back to what I'm supposed to do. My subject, or what I'm supposed to share, is the importance of access ministry. Alright, it is practical. We all know the Great Commission.
We all know the Great Commission.
Matthew 28. 18 to 20. Okay, telling us to go out.
We tell you to go.
Alright, preach the gospel.
Preach the word.
And make disciples. Teaching them to obey.
Teach them to obey.
All that has been commanded. I think that is where the DMM is coming from. The desire, the will to fulfill the Great Commission. I have seen New Harvest being very active and in the fulfillment of this Great Commission. Our father in the house here once said, Jesus' last command is our first concern. So DMM discipleship making has been our niche. That is all New Harvest Global Ministries exists for. And because of that, with that in mind, we are doing all in our power, using different strategies to ensure, the gospel is heard by the lost. Alright, the gospel is taken to difficult places. That is what we have been doing. But I want to give you a background a little bit. Alright. The creation story in Genesis, if we can have it on, Genesis 1,
Genesis chapter 1,
26
verse 26
to 31. And God said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish in the sea, over the fowls of the air, and over the cattle, all over the earth, and over every creeping thing that crept upon the earth. So God created man in his own image. In the image of God created him, male and female. Created him them. And God blessed them, and said unto them, be fruitful, multiply, and replenish the earth, and subdue it, and have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, over every living thing that moves. Hallelujah. The creation story. If we further go, if we look more in chapter 2, God finished creation, and it was good. Everything was perfect. Life was abundant, pleasant, loving. God was relating well with man, and man was relating well with God, and the environment was perfect. However, came the fall. Man sinned and fell from such luxury, abundant wealth. We have a loving God. What did he do?
What did he do?
He came down himself.
Himself came down.
In the person of Jesus Christ.
That's Jesus Christ.
Hallelujah.
Amen.
Is that not wonderful?
Wonderful.
Okay, life in the garden.
Life inside the garden
was full of abundant life. Life was abundant. And so Jesus came. Long in the New Testament. John 10:10 tells us. That I have come. That you may have life.
So that you may get life.
And have life more abundantly. And that is the mission.
And that's the mission.
With Jesus. The restoration. There was a restoration of a relationship with our God.
They can make that relationship back for him.
And with Jesus. He manifested the goodness by taking care, making possible that people got their basic needs.
He showed goodness by the way the people
demonstrated the
showed the love
by helping out the needs of people.
They need people that need them.
So that is the mission of Jesus Christ. And when he went, he handed the mission to the church.
He gave the church that same mission.
He gave them the same mandate to the church.
He gave the same mandate to the church.
To reconcile people.
For count people together.
Back to Jesus. To reconcile people back to God.
Count people back.
And get them to have the Garden of Eden experience. So as a church,
the church,
we are to be involved in holistic ministry. You don't only proclaim the gospel,
not for the talk about the good news, no,
but you demonstrate.
But you show the good news.
And that is holistic ministry. Some people call it Christian development. Some call it holistic development. Some call it access ministry. But remember, access ministry is more or less unique to New Harvest Global Ministry. Because that is how we coined our social intervention. Amen. Are we understanding?
We don't understand.
Like I said earlier, I am here to talk about the importance of access ministry.
I'm here to talk about how access ministry importance
in the BDM. In the DNA. Hallelujah.
Amen.
So integral mission is very, very important.
So integral mission is very, very important.
Because it is helping us to see people confess Jesus Christ, to see community come back to Jesus Christ, to see people experience the Garden of Eden again. It is little, you will say,
small,
but all roads are leading
on the one side
to depopulating the kingdom of hell and restoring people back
and make people come back
to the kingdom of God. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. It is a key strategy to New Harvest Ministry.
The important thing New Harvest is
we have a true way of practicing our social ministry. It is more so access ministry. When we use it to go into difficult and unfriendly communities. There are some communities you don't like go flagging the Bible. Oh my God. They have the traditional beliefs and other beliefs that will really get you frustrated. And so, using the social interventions, we befriend the community. And we try to know the dire need of the community. What is happening there? It is a two-way thing. You want to get the people to hear you out. But equally, remember You have compassion.
Because
you are enjoying the Garden of Eden.
They enjoy our Garden of Eden there.
And some are there deprived.
And some they don't have the time.
Maybe they don't have good drinking, safe drinking water.
So tell them what clean water for drink.
Or they are really, really poor in their family.
Or by the agricultural business, they may not be fine.
Or dying of diseases and, having serious health facilities.
The sickness, but good hospitals have not done.
After studying that,
when they look all around,
then that can be a way of showing love to them. Meeting their dire needs. The pressing needs. And so that is why we call it access.
That's what we call access.
They are unfriendly. Resistant to the gospel. So we enter showing them we are friends. By showing concern for what their problem is. And the process,
and as we do that,
as we go in with our interventions,
as we go inside for
we build relationship.
We return them party.
We build relationship.
We return them party.
Remember,
say
DMM is built on relationship.
DMM relationship business.
Relationship of trust.
If I trust you.
And so when we get there,
so when we go there,
make friends with them,
make them party,
be with them, they say we are harmless.
They say no problem.
And it gives us the opportunity,
for
them to know, that we have good stuff in us.
We
have good intentions. And that we are enjoying freedom. And so gradually, they see the freedom in us.
We
don't rush it. Maybe just basic life.
Something as small life
doing the Bible studies. It's being yourself right in the community.
Just by yourself in the community.
You are not forcing everyone. Maybe your host, you will be praying. People like prayer.
Sometimes when people like for prayer.
And then you pray for maybe your host.
You pray for the person you talk to.
And remember, God can do anything.
God can do anything.
When you enter that particular community, after praying, and God has led you to that community,
God will show you that community.
God can use you. In different ways. Situations might arrive that you can only pray and see the manifestation.
And
then you capture their attention. When you capture their attention, they want to know who you are. That is an opportunity.
You don't get chance.
It's an opportunity.
You don't get chance.
You have ears.
Then they listen to you.
You have their ears.
Then they listen to you.
And then you can share the gospel.
Then you will tell them the good news.
Hallelujah.
Amen.
That is one way.
Now one way.
All right. The second way.
The other way.
If we are in the community already,
if you are already in the community,
we are the salt and light according to Matthew 5.
Matthew 5, Matthew.
It's Matthew 13 there.
Matthew.
It's a 9:13. All right. We are the salt and light.
We are the salt and we are the light.
In the community. And when you are living in such community, you check the lives of the people.
See how the people in life there.
The environment.
See how the area there.
What is happening.
What is happening.
And then you think about the abundant life.
Then you think about the good life.
The abundant life in Christ Jesus.
The good life in Jesus Christ.
And then you can mobilize the people.
Then you call the people together.
And make sure you address the issues.
And make sure you talk about the thing
affecting them.
When they affect them,
the social issues.
The thing that happen around them.
Because already.
Because
you are there.
Now there you do.
Solving the spiritual poverty.
You know you solve the spiritual parts.
But there are other poverty areas.
There's some other
Maybe economic, social, and so you can solve that.
And you can solve them.
Using the access ministry.
This access ministry.
Maybe through clinics.
Sometimes they need to clean.
Clinic.
Sometimes they bring clinic.
Through the health.
Business.
Wealth.
Business.
Agriculture.
Business.
Maybe gender.
Sometimes for this gender business.
And child protection.
So take care of the kid.
You can use those.
They use everything on them.
To show them.
For sure they say
that practicality.
But with freedom.
Of Christianity.
This Christian business.
You will never know Christ and remain to be the same.
You never know Jesus Christ and you stay the same.
And so if we are saying that,
so if we don't say that one day,
we have to demonstrate it.
We have to show them.
So the importance of access ministry.
What make access ministry important?
Really, it facilitates the establishment of a relationship of trust.
Because it will make people trust themselves.
The relationship of trust.
Then again, relationship of trust themselves.
And to share things.
And then they will share them.
We can say it also opens a window of opportunity to be listened to.
We can say it also makes chance for them.
Nobody cares to know how much you know.
Nobody knows what you know.
Until they know how much you care.
That's the most you don't come from know what you don't know.
And this is true of the adage that says,
and it will say,
a friend in need,
whenever you need something,
is a friend indeed. So with access ministry,
by this access ministry,
the community
then
end up knowing that because you have met their needs,
because you don't do for what they need,
you are a friend indeed. In Civil mission,
this mission
is about speaking and living out our faith.
Now for talk and for do you faith.
In undivided ways in all aspects of life.
In all areas of life.
It is also advertising God's kingdom.
Also, you will show people of God's kingdom.
Where relationship with God and each other are restored.
Inside for that relationship with God and with your company, it will happen.
Can we just get Matthew 5:14-16? Matthew 5:14-16.
We go
Matthew 5. You are the light of the world. A city that is set on a hill cannot be hidden.
You are the light now, do city where on top of the hide.
Neither do men light a candle and put it under a bushel, but on a candlestick.
What's the level light candle put on a bowl? But they put it on the candlestick.
And it giveth light unto all that are in the house.
And it will show light to all the inside house.
Let your light so shine before men.
Let your light shine before people then.
That they may see your good works and glorify your Father.
When they see the good thing we do and glorify God in heaven.
You are advertising.
You will show people then.
You are advertising.
You will show people then.
Access ministry helps you to advertise the kingdom.
Access ministry, they help you to show people of God in kingdom.
Access ministry also.
Access ministry also
serves as a signpost.
It will become a like signboard
of the good news of all the gospel.
Of this good news about God in business.
If done with proclamation.
If you do on the right way.
If done with proclamation.
If you do on the right way.
Proclamation of the gospel.
For talking is good news.
It comes with repentance.
It will come with repentance.
By those who respond to it.
For the one that will answer to him.
It comes with repentance.
It will come with repentance
of those who respond to it. Because when you tell people about the gospel of Jesus Christ,
good news for Jesus Christ,
they believe in it.
They believe him.
So what next?
So what will happen?
There is a common story we heard from our facilitator.
One story when we facilitator talk about.
A lady in Kenya.
So a woman in Kenya
was a prostitute. And this men of God, thinking that they are really on fire,
for evangelize,
met this lady.
They meet this woman.
And they witnessed to her.
And they tell her about Jesus.
They met her at night.
They meet her at night.
And they told her about the love of Jesus.
Tell her about how Jesus loved her.
And how she needed. How she needed. To change her life. And embrace Jesus. And then led her to Christ.
And then tell her to
say the sinner's prayer.
They make you say the sinner's prayer.
After that, standing together, almost to leave her and walk off maybe to another person. The lady just stopped them. Excuse me. Now,
he said, no.
You have told me about my new life.
Well, don't tell me about this new life here.
And this is where I have been making ends meet. All I have known is prostitution. I get what I get in the evening. And then I take care of my children, my family. So now that you have told me that I have Jesus. And I should have been doing.
I never turn prostitute again.
But my job.
This way.
What next?
What you know?
What next?
What you know?
How do I live my life?
How do I live my life?
And so as much as proclamation of the gospel is very key.
How important for talk this God word?
It shouldn't go without demonstration.
Never go without show.
And sometimes demonstration is just not meeting needs.
Something they for sure, not for just do for the person.
It's not just giving out.
Not for just giving
direction.
But for sure
direction. Teach the person. How do you make? What do you do after? How do you make ends meet? How do you meet your social life so that you can't go back?
So that you don't go back to come out.
Hallelujah.
Amen.
If you are involved in access ministry,
if you do this access ministry
or social ministry, then you make sure you don't only proclaim.
You're not just the talker.
You don't only proclaim.
You're not just the talker.
You have to demonstrate. We should always be aware of our motivation.
When we motivate people
and what we are witnessing to,
and what we talk about,
and ensure that,
and make sure
we communicate. The communication to those around us,
what we talk to the one already around me,
is clear.
It's clear.
Hallelujah. Amen. What is the motivation?
What is this motivation?
Why are you going to access ministry?
What make you go to access ministry?
Demonstration of the gospel or access ministry complements proclamation of the gospel.
Now in the help the talk about the gospel.
And demonstration of the gospel
and the show this gospel
complements proclamation.
In the help the talk about the talk.
And proclamation of the gospel
and the talk the good news
complements demonstration.
Instead of help the show.
I'm making sense here. They go together. You don't walk with one.
What a one you walk on.
It is the call of God for you.
God call you.
It is the ministry
for
which God has called the church. It is the biblical mandate that you should be practicing. The two should go together. Don't only talk.
Not just talk.
Demonstrate. For us, we have so many testimonies. Hallelujah.
Amen.
The gospel, we have gone into resistance on friendly communities.
We don't mean a better community then.
We have entered communities through education.
We don't mean that community that to be climbing.
We have so many schools in communities because we saw the need and we went into that intervention.
And we did that thing.
And today we have people here coming from such communities. Hallelujah. Some through schools. And churches are established. DDM is practice. DMN is practice. Souls are winning. Leaders are are raised.
They will raise leaders.
So the honor and glory of God. We have used the health sector.
We don't use the body business.
Through mobile clinics.
So that's a clinic
getting into that community. That are unreached by government.
Government don't go there.
And we go there.
And we go there.
Giving free medical services.
So they give them free body business.
We call it mobile clinics.
We call it mobile clinic.
Befriending the people.
Make them pardon.
At the end of the day, they trust us.
Then they let us.
They know we have good intentions.
They know say we mean good for them.
And then we are allowed to plant our church.
And they allow you to make church.
Souls are being won there too.
People on the country.
But not only that,
but you don't know.
Their lives are improved.
Their life will be better.
There's transformation.
Their life will be better.
Remember, we are lights.
Remember, saying we are lights.
So any community that allows the gospel,
any community
is going to enjoy the light.
They enjoy the light.
The light of Jesus.
Jesus is light.
And the abundant life. Restoring all that has been damaged. Experiencing the Garden of Eden.
Experience Garden of Eden.
I want to caution.
I want to note this.
Why the caution?
What's the caution?
Today, after hearing about Access Ministry,
after hearing about Access Ministry,
you want to go and practice it.
You want to go and begin doing.
But I ask that you do it with a good intention.
But I have already done it clean out.
Because otherwise,
if not to that,
two things will happen.
Two things will happen.
You will be pointing people.
You will point people
to the wrong direction.
To the wrong direction.
To the wrong direction.
To the wrong direction.
How?
How?
Pointing.
They point people
to self.
To yourself.
Rather than to God.
Instead of pointing to God.
You are not going there to be the Messiah.
You are not going there to be the Jesus.
At all.
At all.
You are only demonstrating.
You just going to show
that.
Say.
This is the responsibility that Jesus has given me.
Now this work Jesus left with you.
You are only going there so that you have the opportunity,
so that you will get a chance
to win the ears, the attention.
For make them listen to you.
Don't build your empire.
Not going to make your kingdom.
It's not about you.
It's about yourself.
It is about the kingdom of God.
God and kingdom.
And that is only done.
And that will only happen
when the Access Ministry.
Where this Access Ministry
is not followed by proclamation of the government of the gospel.
Not about the technology.
We don't go giving stuff.
We don't go give.
We have seen churches.
We don't see church them
that have done Access Ministry.
Access Ministry
to win the hearts of people.
To win people's hearts.
And maybe.
And sometimes
I don't know how much of the proclamation.
I don't know how much of the God word is
being done.
Done.
Because they don't get the people to know Jesus.
They don't get the people that know Jesus.
So be careful.
So take time.
Be cautioned.
Take time.
That you don't point to yourself.
No, point to yourself.
We have people who say, come to New Harvest Ministry.
We don't have people who say, come to New Harvest Ministry.
At New Harvest.
If you come to New Harvest.
Or they will give you a job.
They will give you work.
At New Harvest.
They
will pay your school fee.
They will pay your school fee.
That is wrong.
It
is very wrong. You shouldn't be pointing to me.
Point to
God.
To God.
Hallelujah. So whatever intervention.
So anything you give.
Church planters.
You are the plant church.
When you are going to communities.
When you are going to community.
You are not taking New Harvest.
You need to take New Harvest.
Don't bribe the people with New Harvest. Now as we are on the radio. So many people are hearing about New Harvest. And some will want to be part of it.
And somebody will want to be part of it.
Don't go and use that.
Never use that
at all.
No.
We should be pointing them to God.
We should be pointing them to God.
If only you do the Access Ministry.
When you do this Access Ministry.
The right way.
The right way.
That is, if you demonstrate first.
If you show first.
Then you have to proclaim.
Then you have to talk.
If you proclaim,
if you talk,
you have to demonstrate.
Because for sure,
the two should always go
together.
Hallelujah.
Amen.
The second thing, it can deny the importance of.
It will make the important parts not the lesson.
It can deny the importance of reconciliation with God.
The important part following reconcile with God never happen.
By indicating that.
If they should say.
by indicating that improving economic and social situations are all that matters.
For sure, say for make people life better, I matter anymore.
Yes. Hallelujah.
Amen.
Don't water down.
No, put down
the reconciliation.
The part where they bring people into
God. To God.
When they bring people into God.
The reconciliation.
When they bring people into God.
People will be so engrossed.
People will be so pay attention.
Of making the abundant life.
For making fine.
Concentrating on the economic.
They concentrate continually.
And they kind of lose their connection.
And then they forget the
true relationship.
The true relationship
with God.
Don't forget with God.
Please be careful.
Do not take it in.
If you are not careful.
If you not take it in.
If you don't do it well.
If you don't do it well.
Access ministry.
Access ministry.
Water down or deny the reconciliation.
Go down, play that part for reconciliation happen.
Because you are meeting it.
Because you know the God.
Hallelujah.
Amen.
We have succeeded in different ways, but I am not here to blow our trumpet.
We don't do the fun thing away, but I'm not here for talk good about yourself.
I am just saying.
I just say
in DMM,
this DMM.
Access ministry is doing its own thing.
Access ministry, they do your part.
It is doing its own thing.
They do your part.
It is opening windows.
They open windows
for ears to hear.
For let people to yes,
the gospel. It is also giving us the opportunity.
They give you opportunity
to demonstrate.
For sure.
What Christ has always told us to do.
Jesus the always telling for them.
The biblical mandates.
The Bible mandates.
To bring people wholesome unto the kingdom of God.
Those people are running about the kingdom.
Remember,
say,
if you only concentrate,
if you pay attention
to the proclamation,
by the talk,
as much as it is good, people will still be distracted.
Those people will still get distracted now.
You think you have members.
You think you have members.
Quietly you are losing them.
Quietly they go.
Because of their social needs.
Because they're getting the way they need it.
I have one story to share with you.
One story I want to tell you.
There was a guy.
One guy today
went to church.
Go to church.
Very, very hungry.
Hungry?
Very hungry.
Hungry, Baba.
And he was a member of this firebrand pastors.
One pastor with a fire, I remember.
Not Pastor Apostle.
What is Pastor Apostle?
You know, Pastor Apostle is also firebrand.
Apostle is also firebrand.
Similar. And so this member was there. He has been hungry or starving.
He don't starve
for weeks. Nothing to eat. And then came Wednesday. And the apostle was busy.
The apostle was busy.
Not Apostle Roma.
What's Apostle Roma?
Busy. Charging.
They talk.
Doing deliverance.
They do deliverance.
And he got the people to stand for some time.
I tell the people that it's not one long time.
I was very hungry. And they were praying. Oh, the Holy Ghost was at work. And this man fell. They thought it was power. The man was like there lying for a while. The service was over. He was still lying there. This man has fallen under the power of the anointing. And somebody, maybe by divine intervention, just said, can we give this man milk? And the man kind of, please add bread to it.
The man add bread to it.
Please add bread to the milk.
Yeah, add bread to the milk.
What was that?
What's the name?
Was that tongues?
Not in tongues?
No. He needed physical support. Hallelujah. So if that man were to leave that hall, he would have fallen for anybody.
Anybody for
was given a plate of rice. And after all your power, after all your strength, not being sensitive to the physical needs of your man, you lose them.
You lost them.
They will go. Remember,
our
cousins are doing all it takes. All it takes. If they have to hold your tummy, by feeding you, you can just confine you. So that they will just only do that. So your starving members, go to the cousins. Hallelujah. So be careful. So take it in. So that you can use all the spiritual. Neglecting the physical.
But you forget the physical parts.
And lose your members. Hallelujah. Amen. Like I said, my responsibility here is to share. It's not to teach you, but to share what we are doing in our little corner of the Hado. We harvest development office. We have planted churches.
We don't plant church now.
It's a mandate. You can't be with Reverend Johnson.
You never go with Johnson.
And not plant a church. The drivers plant churches. Even the administrators plant. So it's a church planting. And that's we are using every strategy. He always tells his drivers. When we are coming in the way, maybe with a empty vehicle, make sure you take disciples. And tell them about Jesus. So with that, I want to say, it is our little involvement in the DDA. Thank you very much.
You can do better than that. Hallelujah. The importance of Access Ministry in discipleship making movement.
How Access Ministry important and discipleship making movement.
We want to take 15-minute recess.
We have a break for 15 minutes.
And not to black man 15 minutes now, with man 15 minutes.
Not BMT but GMT.
Exactly. God bless you, my brother. So let's stand up.
So let me go
out for 15 minutes.
And then we're going to go 15 minutes sharp.
Please, it's by 12:15, everybody is supposed to be seated.
By 12:15, we forgot sit down. Not only tell you the time, sir.
12:15.
12:12.
God bless you. If you have not been interviewed, please, you should meet the interview committee. You have only 1 more hour to go.